Students, in the previous video we had seen about your adjustable voltage regulator. Next we will go for the third type of regulator where we are going to see about the switching regulator. So in a switching regulator we are going to use a series pass transistor there. So here your switching regulator basically it is going to consist of your four major components. One is your supply voltage V in, your second one is going to be the switch, third one is going to be the filter, fourth one is going to be the pulse generator there. So where the output of this filter, so what we are going to do is we are going to give a supply voltage V in, and this based on this supply voltage V in we are going to provide a pulse generator there. So when the pulse generator is going to be given to a switch, where switch is nothing but a series pass transistor there. The switch will be continuously switched on and off. So when the switch is going to be switched on and off, we are going to have the current to be occur at the output at a per different rates there. So when it is going to occur at different rates, we are going to see that the average current is going to be taken and it is going to be delivered to the load. So since your average current is going to be taken and delivered to the load, you are going to see that the power dissipation is going to be less. So here why we are using filters in your switching regulator is your filters are going to remove if there is going to be any ripple that is going to be present, that ripple will be removed with the help of this filters there, and then it will be delivered to the load. So the four main components are going to be supply voltage V in, switch S1, pulse generator V pulse, and the filter F1. So voltage source. The voltage sources we are going to use, we can use either a DC supply or a battery or an unregulated or regulated power supply there. So the condition is to get an output power I need to give the input voltage there. So V in must supply the required output power there. And next is the input voltage should be of should be able to provide a very large voltage range there. That means that it should supply sufficient dynamic range of voltages to the circuit. Next is the input voltage supply should be able to store the energy for a specific period of time. So during the power failures also, your input voltage what we are supplying should be able to store a specified amount of energy there. So here is to store the energy for a specified period of time. That is the purpose of your voltage source. Next purpose is your switch S1. So S1, as I said, it is going to be a transistor where we call the transistor as a series pass transistor, or it can be a thyristor connected power switch. So when it is going to be there, this switch is going to be operated in the saturated mode. So saturated mode is it is going to be always in the on condition. So depending upon the pulse generator, how it is going to supply the pulse, your transistor will be in the on state or in the off state. So when it is going to be in the on state, it is going to be in the saturated mode. When it is going to be in the off state, it is going to be in the off state there. And next is your pulse generator. Pulse generator is nothing but your V pulse. So here your pulse generator is going to provide an asymmetrical square wave there. So where the asymmetrical square wave can be got by varying either the frequency of the waveform or the pulse width is going to be called as the frequency modulation or pulse modulation. If the asymmetrical square wave is going to vary with respect to frequency, then we call it as your frequency modulation. If the pulse width is going to vary with respect to time, that is T on and T off, then in that case we call it as your pulse width modulation there. So here the frequency range what we are going to use for a pulse generator is going to be 20 kilohertz. So now we are going to define a term called duty cycle. So duty cycle is nothing but the ratio of T on to the total time period T. So where total time period T is going to be defined as T on plus T off. So I can write duty cycle is equivalent to the ratio of T on to the period T of the pulse waveform. So here if I am going to write this in terms of frequency, it is going to be T on into F. So here 1 by T is nothing but F. So I can write duty cycle is equal to T on into F. That is the purpose of your pulse generator. Next is your filters. So filter, what it is going to do is, it is going to convert the pulse waveform. So whatever output I am going to get out of this switch, that pulse waveform is going to be converted from the output of the switch into a DC voltage there. So here in this case, if there is going to be any ripple that is going to be present at the output of the switch, that ripples will be removed and a DC voltage will be delivered to the load. So here this switching mechanism is going to be similar to the operation of your transformer. So we say that the switching regulator is nothing but a DC transformer. So here your V0, your output voltage V0 is going to depend on the duty cycle into your Vin. Duty cycle is T on divided by T into Vin. So based on this we will describe whether we are going to do your pulse width modulation or whether we are going to do your frequency modulation there. So suppose for example in that case I am going to have the fixed value of your input voltage. So fixed value of your input voltage means if my output is going to depend only on the T on, then in that case it is going to depend on the width of the signal there. So width of the signal means that type of modulation is going to be called as your pulse width modulation. So first case is when Vin is constant, my output voltage is going to be directly proportional to T on. So when it is going to be output voltage is directly proportional to T on, that is the width of the on time of the pulse, then that type of modulation is going to be called as pulse width modulation. And next case is suppose I am going to keep my T on to be constant, and if T on is going to be constant, my output voltage is going to be indirectly proportional to your period T. Or if I am going to write it in terms of frequency, we know that 1 by T is equal to F. So T on into F. So we can say that V0 is going to be output voltage is directly proportional to the frequency of the pulse wave there. So when it is going to be directly proportional to the frequency of the pulse wave, then we call that type of modulation to be your frequency modulation. So here we have two types of modulation. One is pulse width modulation, the other one is your frequency modulation. So we can see that your switching regulators, generally in your SMPS circuits, we will be using this pulse width modulation concept to provide a constant output voltage there. Your switching regulator can be operated in any of these three modes. One is your step down, the other one is your step up, and polarity inverting are the three modes of operation of your switching regulator. Thank you.